Juliette Lewis was only 17 years old when she fell in love with 27-year-old Brad Pitt. Their romance took the world by storm back in the 1990s, and they quickly became one of Hollywood's hottest couples. They were inseparable from the start and seemed to have everything going for them. Despite having broken up almost 2 decades ago, Juliette is still questioned about their 3-year relationship. Meanwhile, Pitt went on to describe their romance as one of his greatest relationships. Juliette Lewis and Brad Pitt met on the set of the film Too Young to Die back in 1990.
That's one of the greatest moments of my life. Yeah.
Congratulations, Brad.
Yeah, thank you.
At the time, Juliette was just 17 years old and Brad was 27. Despite their 10-year age difference, the pair hit things off almost immediately. Juliette shared, "We met on a movie and started dating when it was over. I already liked him as an actor, plus you gotta respect somebody who's in the same field as you." There were some that thought that Juliette may have been too young for such a serious relationship with someone who was a decade her senior. However, the new couple didn't let the public's opinion get in the way of their budding romance. What's more, Juliette wasn't just an average 17-year-old. She had already been through a lot in her life and was forced to grow up pretty quickly in her teen years. Her parents divorced when she was just 2 years old. Since her father, actor Jeffrey Lewis, was in the film industry,
well, my dad is a character actor, and so that was my whole introduction to movies.
Juliette knew she wanted to follow in her father's footsteps and become an actress. However, she felt like being in school was preventing her from being able to dedicate herself fully to her dream. While she was able to book some small roles, she wanted to be able to do more. Lewis then decided to drop out of school and become emancipated from her parents at just 15 years old so that she could focus all of her time on her career. After that, she took on roles in projects like The Wonder Years, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and My Stepmother is an Alien. While her career started to gain traction, Juliette admitted that she struggled with her identity and sense of self after being exposed to Hollywood at such a young age. So by the time Juliette and Brad crossed paths, she had already done a lot of growing up, although admittedly, she knew she had a lot more to learn. At the start of their relationship, the pair were still fairly new to the big Hollywood scene. After working together on Too Young to Die, they connected over their love for acting and were able to support one another as their lives became thrown into the spotlight. During an interview, Lewis gushed, "We're at the point in love where we just like to see each other every single day, and we don't get bored with each other, so it's really, really nice." Juliette and Brad had no intentions of slowing down their romance, and it didn't take long for them to move in together. Lewis recalled, "For half of our relationship, we were just unknown young actors in LA. I even remember his little bungalow that we lived in off Melrose that we'd smoke lots of pot in." The couple was virtually inseparable and couldn't get enough of each other. The media couldn't get enough of their relationship either.
At 19, I was like wrapped up in my first love, and I was very 19.
Throughout their relationship, as their careers gained more traction, so did the press frenzy around their romance. The couple was constantly followed by the paparazzi and were being photographed wherever they went. Lewis shared, "We get to be around each other when we're working and talk and collaborate. We want to work together again and again and again." They were thrilled to be cast opposite each other once again in the 1993 film California. Brad was excited to have another opportunity to work with Juliette, saying, "You do a scene and then you go over and grab the one you love." The film was also an excuse for the couple to spend even more time together. Brad added, "You want to keep your careers and your love, but we just wanted to do it more for a vacation." Sadly, their relationship didn't last much longer after they finished filming California, and the couple announced their split in 1993. Lewis's publicist shared that the former couple planned on remaining friends. Despite their plan to remain friends, Lewis and Pitt drifted apart. The actress was next linked to Johnny Depp, her co-star in the 1993 film What's Eating Gilbert Grape. However, their romance was brief. Meanwhile, Pitt moved on to date Gwyneth Paltrow in 1994, even though he admitted that he wasn't really over Lewis. In a 1995 interview with Vanity Fair, Brad shared, "I still love the woman. I had a great time with her. It was one of the greatest relationships I've ever been in. The problem is, we grow up in this vision that love conquers all, and that's just not so, is it? However, neither Pitt nor Lewis ever really shared the reasons for their breakup. Perhaps their 10-year age difference somehow played a part in Juliette being so young, or maybe media attention around their relationship just became too much. Brad said, "We were trying to be Sid and Nancy or something. We were idiots. We were just having a great time." Following her split from Pitt, Juliette entered a dark period in her life and struggled with substance abuse. At 22 years old, she decided to enter a rehab program and has maintained a life of sobriety ever since. Lewis credited her recovery with helping her find peace and stability in her life. She shared, "I had too much energy, so I was actually trying to sedate it." In 1999, she went on to marry professional skateboarder Steve Barra. Not much is known about their time together, and the couple eventually divorced in 2003 after only 4 years of marriage. It was around this time that Juliette decided to take a step back from acting and focus on her music career. She launched the rock band Juliette and the Licks and did her best to prioritize her mental health away from the spotlight of Hollywood. It's no surprise that over the years, Juliette has very often been questioned about her relationship with Brad and their subsequent breakup. She said that it amazes her that people are still fascinated by their 3-year romance. "I was a teenager at the time. It's a lifetime away. I was in my high school years, and it was a wonderful, loving relationship with a fun, smart guy. Then it was over, and he went on to become incredibly famous." Juliette explained, "People ask me about him just because he's famous. They don't really ask about my ex-husband, which is a far more significant relationship because we were married." Juliette said that she was often irritated by the fact that the press coverage about her was usually about Brad Pitt or drug addiction, adding, "I quit all my bullshit at 22. There is growth. Get out of the past." Despite their split, the former couple has never said anything negative about their time together. If anything, they look back at their romance fondly. Juliette recalled, "It was such a lovely time in my life. Well, in both of our lives, because we were anonymous." Although they shared such an important time in their lives together and bonded over their newfound fame in Hollywood, Lewis admitted that, "He's not in my universe at all now. It was my longest relationship and we both lost our anonymity together." She described Brad as a very stand-up good guy. Looking back at their romance, she feels like it was like a high school relationship because now he's a very famous person. However, Juliette admitted that it felt odd having lost contact with Brad after everything that they had experienced together. She shared, "We're strangers now. Isn't that weird? I don't know him as an adult, and he doesn't know me." After all these years, Juliette has nothing but respect for Brad and wants only the best for him. While we can't help but wonder how things would have turned out if they had stayed together, at least we know that they made a positive impact on each other's lives and the breakup wasn't nasty. There's no doubt that the 90s was a time for epic Hollywood romances, and we won't be forgetting Brad and Juliette's love story anytime soon.
They both became acting stars, were known for their incredible looks and talent, and had fans swooning worldwide. But Christina Applegate and Brad Pitt weren't always that famous. When they started their career, they were just regular teens dealing with things like friends, flirting, and getting stood up. Yes, you heard that right. Although their relationship was not that long or serious, the two were the main characters of a significant chapter of celebrity history. Christina leaving in the middle of her date with Brad to meet another man. Christina Applegate and Brad Pitt met when they were both making a name for themselves in Hollywood. Brad was in his 20s and was sharing an apartment with 8 other guys while doing as many auditions as possible. One of his roomies was Jason Priestley of Beverly Hills 90210. Christina lived in Beverly Hills with her mom. The actress used to have Brad and Jason over for barbecues. It is unclear whether Applegate's mom introduced the two or if the young performer had met Pitt through her work. At this time, she started getting recognition for her role of Married with Children. The couple started dating in late 1988 when he was 25 and she was 17. They did several red carpets together. In fact, the photos of them dancing for photographers at an Amnesty International event have turned somewhat iconic. I mean, look at those faces. However, things turned sour for the actor at the 1989 MTV Video Music Awards. He attended the red carpet with Christina as his date, but she must not have been happy since she left with no explanation.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was like a weird reaction.
Years later, Christina confessed that she ditched him for another man, but did not want to reveal the person's identity. However, Christina did confirm that this man was not an actor, but was famous. She also said that she didn't end up dating the guy. Imagine ditching Brad Pitt for nothing. If Christina wanted the man's identity to remain a secret forever, she was certainly not in luck. In 2016, Sebastian Bach admitted he was the one she ditched Brad Pitt for. Sebastian is most known for his singing in the band Skid Row. During a press tour to promote his memoir, 18 in Life on Skid Row, the singer did an interview on the radio show Elliot in the Morning. He explained that Christina had recently been asked what the dumbest thing she had ever done was, and she replied, "One night I ditched Brad Pitt for this other dude." Sebastian then added, "And that dude would be me." So there was a time on this earth when Sebastian Bach was like a hotter lay than Brad Pitt. Bach also confirmed that his relationship with the actress wasn't anything serious. "What happened between me and Christina was a brief fling, but we did go out a couple of times," he said. And the singer fits Christina's description. Even if he has starred in a couple of acting roles, like the one he played on Gilmore Girls, Sebastian is primarily a musician, not an actor. Christina never said anything about Bach's claims, and nobody has given any more detail about what happened that night. So we'll have to imagine. But what has happened to Pitt and Applegate since that night? Well, Christina married actor Jonathan Scheck, but filed for divorce in 2005. After Scheck, Applegate had an on-again, off-again relationship with skateboarder and photographer Lee Griffiths, who was found dead after what seemed to be a drug overdose in 2008. He was only 26. Pitt went on to become a huge movie star, so he started dating A-list celebrities. The actor went on to have one of his most talked about relationships, his marriage with Jennifer Aniston. In 1998, the duo went on their first date after being set up by their agents. The couple hit it off and they married in 2000 in a lavish Malibu wedding. There even were fireworks. Fans were delighted when Pitt had a cameo on Friends, the show which made Jen famous. The funny thing is, Christina Applegate also did a cameo on the show, playing Aniston's sister. This makes sense since both actresses do look kind of similar. Does Brad Pitt have a type? To fans and the media, everything seemed perfect on the outside. However, Pitt and Aniston's marriage were not meant to last, and in January 2005, they released a joint statement saying they were getting a divorce. In it, they explained that their split was a thought-out decision, not a result of media speculation. The statement also said, "We happily remain committed and caring friends with great love and admiration for one another." What is this media speculation the couple was referring to? Well, the months before the breakup, Brad had been shooting the film Mr. and Mrs. Smith, alongside actress Angelina Jolie. Rumors linked both performers, and many assumed Angelina was the real reason behind the split. In April 2005, photos of Pitt and Jolie on a day trip to the beach made the rumors stronger than ever. Jennifer was understandably affected by this. "The world was shocked, and I was shocked," the actress told Vanity Fair. Meanwhile, Brad and Angelina's relationship continued going strong. The actor adopted Jolie's children. Later on, they both adopted and had biological children. In 2012, the star couple got engaged. They married 2 years later in an intimate ceremony held in a French castle. It really sounds like a fairy tale. However, things took a sour turn in 2016 when Angelina filed for divorce. The actress's attorney told People magazine that the decision had been made for the health of the family. Sometime later, an FBI report citing disturbing behavior coming from Pitt was brought to light. According to this report, Pitt grabbed and shook Jolie during a private flight, pushed her into a wall, and punched the plane's ceiling. He allegedly also poured beer on the actress and seemed like he was going to attack his family. Jolie said Pitt was becoming a monster and that she was frozen, scared, and didn't know what to do during the incident. In 2019, the divorce was finalized.
I don't want to say very much about that, except to say it was a very difficult time, and we are a family, and we will always be a family.
Since the collapse of his marriage, Pitt has opened up about his alcohol addiction and how it affected his relationships. The actor claims to be done with substances. We are happy for him and wish him the best in his recovery. So it seems both actors have had to endure hardship since that night, but have been able to overcome it. As for their infamous incident, it is all water under the bridge, and they wish each other the best.
When Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Pitt began their romance in 1995, they were the golden couple of that era. The couple too effortlessly beautiful to fail.
That's one of the greatest moments of my life. Yeah.
Congratulations, by the
Yeah,
way.
thank you very much.
And yet, while their romance was a blazing storm, it was snuffed out so suddenly. They seemed like a match made in Hollywood heaven, but sadly, it was all too good to be true. While we saw loving gazes, what happened behind the scenes was so unhealthy, it made Gwyneth hate herself. Gwen and Brad met as any fated Hollywood couple does, on a movie set. They starred as an on-screen couple in the relentlessly grim film Seven, where they played doomed lovers. But while that film ended with her head in a box and him destined for jail, in real life they were destined for something a little less gruesome. Their chemistry was magnetic, and very soon they were inseparable. Gwyneth, who was just 21 years old at the time, admitted it was love at second sight with Brad, who was 31.
Here's your boyfriend on the cover of this. The sexiest man alive. That must get a little tiring for you when you go out in public.
Well, you know, Denzel is now the new sexiest man alive.
See, that's good. That's a lot of pressure off of you and Brad, don't you think?
At first she didn't realize he was flirting with her and thought he was just being friendly. Her career was only just taking off, and she was relatively unknown in the movie-making scene, so she never thought that a Hollywood A-lister would be making moves on her. But she was wrong.
He's the most normal, sweet, intelligent, down-to-earth guy. He's just a guy, just like everybody else.
The couple was obsessed with each other. They even turned down jobs so that they could spend as much time together as they could. They were practically joined at the hip. When the actress was away on set, she drank out of a mug with Brad's face on it. As for Brad, he called Gwen his angel and described the time away from her as a beast. A big, hairy beast. Really, all I can tell you is I've never been happier. My girl's got class, Pitt confessed. Paltrow's parents also adored Pitt, and he got along with her whole family. There were many other celebs who were completely in awe of the young couple's love. Her love affair with Brad gives her strength. It's not because he's a superstar, but because he's completely besotted with her. Movie exec Meryl Poster said of Brad and Gwen, "It seemed like they were so crazy in love, like there was enough between them for everyone in the room." So when the right time came, Pitt asked her father for his blessing to propose to Gwen. It's no surprise that he got the nod of approval, and in 1997, Brad proposed after 2 years of dating. He described the moment as one of the greatest of his life. When Brad won his Golden Globe for his performance in the film 12 Monkeys, he thanked,
Especially the love of all my life, my angel, Gwyneth Paltrow.
in his acceptance speech, and the rest of the world swooned. They continued to steal the hearts of fans, strolling down the streets of New York, hand in hand, and looking lovingly at one another. "I take the institution extremely seriously," Gwyneth said of marriage at the time, clearly giddy about their upcoming nuptials.
There are no divorces in my family, and in his either. So, you know, we've been together for quite some time, so this is not a rash decision.
The two were so smitten that they even prioritized time together over their film schedules. They made sure that they weren't making movies at the same time so that they would both have breaks in between filming to make time for their relationship. "It's too difficult to be separated. It really is," Gwen explained. Unfortunately, it seems like Brad's proposal was the downfall of their relationship. It wasn't much later that their blissful romance suddenly began to unravel. The pressure of getting married felt like too much for Gwen. She was only 25 years old after all, and she began to feel like she was too young to settle down. "I think I was a kid and I wasn't ready. He was too good for me, I honestly do think. I was too young and didn't know what I was doing," the actress confessed. "I'm so lucky that I spent time with Brad, somebody who is such a good person," she said, as reported by ABC News. The Contagion actress discussed her former beau years later on Howard Stern's SiriusXM show, with nothing but praise for Pitt. "I definitely fell in love with him," she recalled of Pitt in 2015, according to Us Weekly. "He was so gorgeous and sweet. I mean, he was Brad Pitt." She felt like she was too young to make the big decision of becoming someone's wife, and later admitted that it wasn't until she was in her 40s that she got, quote, "my head out of my ass." Gwen also explained that their relationship wasn't healthy, adding that certain things happened between the two of them that made her hate herself. Rumors had also begun to circulate that Gwen had cheated on Brad with her Sliding Doors co-star John Hannah. And while Gwyneth never weighed in on the gossip, she did take the blame for the toxic split and the darkest moment of it. "My kind of internal stuff really tripped up that whole relationship, and I felt really responsible, and also like I was the architect of my own misery and I just made a big mess out of it," she admitted. Following the couple's split, Gwen was so distraught that she refused to work and almost missed out on her Oscar-winning role in Shakespeare in Love. She shared in an interview, "It really changed my life. When we split up, something changed permanently in me. My heart sort of broke that day and it will never be the same." She added that because she was still in the middle of the terrible breakup, the idea of being away from home was too difficult. At first, she didn't even read the script, explaining, "I was just like, I can't read anything right now. I'm having a really hard time." Gwen also revealed that she could not eat. "I was really skinny," after her breakup with Brad. And she wasn't the only Paltrow that was devastated by their breakup.
Brad Pitt and I had just broken up, and I had breakup, could not eat. I was really skinny. It was sort of upsetting.
The actress admitted that her father was also devastated when they broke up because he had loved him like his own son. The following year, Brad went on to meet Jennifer Aniston while Gwyneth dated Ben Affleck before marrying Coldplay's Chris Martin in 2003 and had 2 children. However, it seems like Gwen finally found happiness with her second husband, Glee producer Brad Falchuk. The lovebirds tied the knot in 2018, and the romance was something that took Gwen completely by surprise. She didn't think she'd ever get remarried because she had her kids and didn't think she needed anything more than that. And then I met this incredible man who made me think, no, this person is worth making this commitment to. I'm very much the marrying kind. She gushed about her new husband. The couple also had quite the unconventional living arrangement, only moving in together a year into their marriage, but it seemed like Gwen had a good reason for it. She wanted to give her kids and Falchuk's kids time to get used to all the change and integrate their family over time.
Usually it goes the other way.
Well, true. I think really because we each have 2 teenage children whom we love very much, but we were just trying to be mindful and give them a little space and...
But the actress wasted no time to gush over her new hubby and how happy he makes her. "I adore my husband. He's brilliant and deeply kind. I feel like he's a real equal too. And he pushes me in the best ways. I really like being married. It's fun." And of course, like any social media active couple, they've kept all their fans updated with cute pics and swooning captions. For his 50th birthday, Gwen celebrated with a candid selfie of the pair. "Happy 50th birthday at Brad Falchuk. I just want to be with you, always. At least for the next 50, she captioned. While Pitt and Paltrow weren't able to make things work out, they definitely made their mark in Hollywood history as one of the most iconic and good-looking to ever grace the red carpet. They won our hearts with their boundless love and epic fashion statements, so all we can do is thank them for the memories.
We have some news to share for all who are Brad Pitt fans. You may know that the Hollywood hunk has been back on the market in the last few years. Unfortunately, he might be off the shelves again. The movie star has been getting cozy with the vice president of Anita Co. Jewelry, Ines de Ramon. Initially, they hid their romance, but we may have a new favorite couple on our radar. Before their romance rumors started, Brad Pitt and Ines de Ramon had been in pretty serious relationships. We all know about the former couple goals that were Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? They tied the knot only in 2014, at their children's request. Then 2 years later, the actress filed for divorce. Up until the end of 2022, the former couple had been fighting nasty legal battles. However, it's not just Pitt who has experienced a divorce. De Ramon was previously married to the Vampire Diaries star Paul Wesley. They tied the knot in 2019 and kept a very low profile as a couple. In April 2022, however, after less than 3 years of marriage, Wesley and De Ramon quietly split. Since 2019, Brad has been linked to several women, including Emily Ratajkowski and MIT professor Neri Oxman. As a newly single man, there were always rumors about whom the 59-year-old was seeing, and it seemed that who he was dating was constantly changing. A source told In Touch Weekly magazine that the Bullet Train star was only dating for fun. He had no plans to find something serious and settle down. Even though his love life was the topic of many stories, Pitt kept a relatively low profile compared to his younger years. It was time for the Fight Club star to focus on himself and to immerse himself in things that made him happy and fulfilled.
Well, I mean, on one hand, you get older and you just get tired of protecting yourself or having any secrets. You just want to get on with it.
He did a lot of internal work after splitting with Angelina, and he is pretty focused on work and other new ventures right now, the anonymous source shared at the time. The tipper also said that Brad was trying to be more low-key about his personal life because he is tired of being judged for every move he makes. And then he and Ines fell in love. We're not implying that she and Brad are soulmates, but the development of this relationship is giving all the butterflies. On top of that, there were scandalous notes in the beginning stages of the blossoming romance, like people thinking the 59-year-old stole Paul Wesley's girl. To clarify, he didn't, and they only started dating after Inez's divorce. Oh, how we love celebrity romances. We mentioned that Ines and Paul had quietly split up. Emphasis on quietly. Just like when they married, only the pair's close circles knew about the divorce. At the same time, Brad had been reportedly dating Emily Ratajkowski. However, the Meat Show Black Star was spotted in November 2022 with a brunette on his arm, and it was an M. Pitt gets people excited and talking, even when he's being more private about his life. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood star was photographed with Ines at a Bono concert in Los Angeles. At one point, Brad pulled her into a hug as they walked outside the venue. This was when rumors started that the two were dating. Even though both have yet to make any public statements about the relationship, anonymous sources have been sharing insights. When the two were pictured at the concert, they claimed to be just friends. E! News Online spoke to an insider who denied any romance between the jewelry designer and the Golden Globe-winning actor. This has been assumed in the past and has been wrong, they said. Another source close to Pitt told the New York Post that the actor had known Ramon for a while as a friend. He spent time with her before. She's someone he knows and trusts and feels safe with, the source shared. However, since their first tabloid mention as a couple, it seems that the two are only getting closer. Imagine having a friends to lover story with Brad Pitt. Oh, to be Ines de Ramon. A month after the Bono concert, the blossoming love story was developing in the media. Us Weekly magazine discussed the possible courtship with an anonymous reference. Brad is smitten with Ines, but they aren't officially dating, the source said. Then came the birthday celebrations. Both Pitt and De Ramon were born in December and celebrated their birthdays together. While attending the actor's birthday bash at an Italian restaurant in Los Angeles, they were photographed in the same car. According to People magazine, the two are very cute and flirty. You could tell that she makes him happy, a source mentioned. By the end of December, an insider confirmed to Us Weekly magazine that Brad and Ines are officially an item. They really enjoy each other's company and are having a great time in the early stages of an early relationship, but are still getting to know each other, they said. The movie star even took his girlfriend to a film premiere. They might not have walked the red carpet together, but according to People magazine, the lovers were seen mingling at the after-party with arms wrapped around each other. Brad and Ines really can't get enough of each other. The lovebirds entered 2023 at each other's sides. They spent the New Year's Eve enjoying a romantic getaway in Cabo San Lucas. Page 6 released pictures of the two as they enjoyed their vacation. The new flames were seen relaxing and happy in matching blue swimwear. Then, another source came through in January with more information about the couple. They hinted that Pitt might be ready for things to get serious. Brad has gone from seeing this as a fling to wanting to spend all of his time with her, the source explained, adding, "The other girls he was flirting with or considering as dates have all gradually disappeared." Since returning from their Mexican getaway, Entertainment Tonight Online has reported that the pair are excited about where things are headed. An insider shared some info about the couple with the publication. They have a lot in common, and Brad likes how chill and low-key Ines is, they elaborated. Another insider shared with the same publication about why this pairing works well. The couple have been spending a lot of time together. They've attended art shows and often hang out at Brad's home. According to the New Zealand Herald newspaper, Ines doesn't do any cooking. The Troy actor is the designated chef. They share dinner over candlelight and sometimes go skinny dipping in the ocean alongside Brad's mansion. There have even been rumors that the jewelry designer has moved into her beau's pad. The pair work out and go on hikes together. They also talk about work and projects and bounce ideas off each other. An inside source told In Touch Weekly magazine that the actor is on cloud 9 as he gets to know his new love. The conversation between them flows. They make each other laugh, the source shared. It sounds to us like a beautiful match. Not to mention they're both very good looking. Did someone say early couple goals? The same source told the publication that the lady made the first move. The businesswoman is not intimidated by this Hollywood legend at all. Brad's #1 issue in meeting girls is that his fame gets in the way, the insider noted. Although he hasn't experienced that issue with Ines. She's super confident and goes after what she wants, the source revealed, adding, she likes Brad and didn't make that a secret, which he found refreshing. Love is in the air for Brad Pitt and Ines de Ramon. The pair seem oh so smitten with each other, and we couldn't be happier for them. Given that their romance is based on shared levels of intellect and interests, they seem to have a good thing going. Although, with the ongoing legal battles with his ex-wife and the scandal and rumors that follow the famous actor, we wonder how strong this bond will prove to be. Will Ines be the next Mrs. Pitt? Be well and be kind.